Let's get straight to it. Some of you are not in crisis mode because life is hard. You're in crisis mode because you refuse to plan. You're waking up every day just hoping things fall into place. You're running on stress, not strategy. That's why every week feels like an emergency. You ain't broke, your plan is. You ain't lazy, you just don't have structure. You're not unlucky, you're just unprepared. See, people love to say life is unpredictable. I get it. But that's no excuse to live recklessly. That's no excuse to go into your day without a roadmap. You wouldn't drive across the country without GPS. Why you trying to live life without direction? That's why your mind is always in chaos. That's why your peace is short-lived, because you're reacting to life instead of controlling your moves. Let me ask you something real. Do you have a vision or are you just vibbing? Do you have clear goals written down? Do you know where your time is going, your money, your energy, or are you just surviving, playing defense, constantly putting out fires? Come on now, you cannot win a championship playing defense only. You gotta get on offense. You gotta decide what you want, why you want it, and exactly how you're gonna get it, and then execute that thing with precision. A plan gives you clarity. It gives you control. You know what control brings? Calm. When your money is planned, you ain't panicking at the end of the month. When your time is scheduled, you ain't overwhelmed by distractions. When your health is managed, you ain't collapsing from burnout. The plan don't remove all the problems, it just puts you in a position to respond, not react. See, the enemy of peace is indecision. Every time you hesitate, you lose. Every time you put it off till tomorrow, your anxiety grows. But when you sit down, when you write it out, when you create a step-by-step strategy, that's when your power comes back. That's when you stop depending on other people to save you. That's when you stop blaming your past, your boss, your childhood, your city, and you take control of your story. Let's get practical. You got bills, map 'em out. You got goals, break 'em down into weekly tasks. You got problems, identify the root cause and create a solution plan. Don't just pray about it, plan about it. Faith without action is frustration. Hope without hustle is hallucination. You're not failing because you're weak. You're failing because you're freestyling. You don't need to try harder, you need to move smarter. The moment you get strategic is the moment you start stacking wins. Little ones, big ones, momentum builds, and momentum keeps you out of the gutter. Momentum keeps you from drowning. Momentum makes your future predictable. Now here's the thing. Planning takes time. Planning takes focus. Planning takes discipline. And some of you don't plan because deep down you're afraid of commitment. You're afraid of what happens when you actually go all in. But listen to me, if you don't commit to a plan, life will make one for you. And I promise you, life's plan for you won't be about abundance. It'll be about survival. A man or woman with a plan is dangerous. You walk different. You speak different. You sleep better because you know where you're going. And when the storms come, because they will come, you don't panic. You pivot. You don't crumble. You adjust. Because the plan is the anchor. So today I'm challenging you. Sit down, grab a notebook, make a vision, break it down, create the steps, build the system, structure your day, budget your money, schedule your habits, commit to it. Don't let another week go by flying blind. Stop living on the edge of chaos and calling it life. Build a plan and then attack it like your future depends on it, because it does. Everybody wants to feel motivated. Everybody wants to be inspired. You scroll through social media looking for that quote, that video, that moment to hype you up. But let me tell you something, real motivation is a spark. But discipline is the fire that burns all year. You don't need another hype video. You need habits. You need routines. You need discipline. Because listen, motivation will lie to you. Motivation will make you feel good today and abandon you tomorrow. One day you wake up feeling like a champion, ready to conquer the world. But the next day you're tired, you're stressed, you're in your feelings, and that's when people fall. Not because they're weak, but because they depended on their feelings to fuel them. Let me tell you something. Your feelings can't run your life. You won't always feel like doing what's necessary. You won't always feel like waking up at 5 a.m. You won't always feel like showing up for your goals. You won't feel like saving money. You won't feel like eating clean. You won't feel like studying. But discipline shows up when motivation leaves. Discipline is a decision. You either commit to greatness or you don't. You either keep your word or you don't. Discipline is the ability to say yes to the vision and no to the distractions. Discipline is doing it when it's boring, doing it when it hurts, doing it when nobody's clapping. That's the level of focus that keeps you out of crisis mode. Some of y'all are living in chaos because you're chasing emotions instead of execution. You want results, but you only work when it's convenient. You only grind when you're inspired. Let me be clear. Success is not built on feelings, it's built on consistency. You don't get in shape because you worked out one time hyped up. You get in shape because you hit the gym 6 days a week even when you didn't feel like it. Discipline says, I do this because I promised myself I would. Discipline says, this ain't about mood, this is about mission. And if you want to stay out of crisis mode, not just visit peace for a day, but live in peace, then you need to master discipline. Not sometimes, not when it's easy, every single day. People ask, how do I stay focused when life gets hard? That's the wrong question. The question is, can you stay faithful when the feelings disappear? Can you keep pushing when there's no applause? Can you wake up and grind even when nobody sees you? That's the test, and that's what separates people who stay stuck in crisis from people who rise and live on purpose. Let me make it plain: motivation gets you started, but it won't finish the job. Discipline finishes the job. Discipline locks in. Discipline stays hungry. Discipline turns goals into habits and habits into results. Let's get real. You don't have a discipline problem, you have a decision problem. You keep choosing comfort over commitment. You keep choosing now over next. You keep choosing easy over excellent. And as long as you do that, you'll keep living in survival mode, wondering why nothing changes. So how do you build discipline? Start small. Don't try to flip your whole life in one day. Pick one thing. Wake up at the same time every day. Make your bed. Go for a walk. Track your spending. Read for 15 minutes. And do it every day, no excuses. When your brain says, we can skip it today, you say, no, we keep our word around here. You stack that win, then another, then another. That's how you build momentum. That's how you build character. That's how you get stronger than your excuses. And guess what? The more disciplined you become, the more peace you have. Discipline brings control, and control kills chaos. So stop praying for motivation and start practicing discipline. Stop waiting for a mood swing and start building muscle. Discipline is what's gonna carry you when life punches you in the mouth. Discipline is what's gonna protect your peace when the storm hits. Discipline is the difference between staying broke and building wealth, between staying stuck and leveling up, between surviving and thriving. This is your wake-up call. Stop depending on hype. Stop waiting on motivation. Start showing up with discipline because your future is counting on you. Let me be real with you. Some of y'all ain't in crisis mode because of the world. You're in crisis mode because of the people you keep letting into your space. You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because you're carrying dead weight. You're drained because you're surrounded by chaos and drama every day. You want peace, but you're entertaining people who thrive off dysfunction. You can't fly if you're chained to people who love crawling. You can't have a clear mind if your environment is messy. You can't grow if every conversation you have is toxic, dramatic, or negative. Listen to me, you can't heal in the same place that hurt you. You can't build peace while letting chaos sit at your table. Some of y'all got loyalty confused with self-destruction. You're loyal to people who ain't loyal to your peace. You're keeping relationships alive that are draining the life out of you. You're scared to set boundaries because you don't want to look selfish. Let me make it plain, self-care ain't selfish, peace ain't selfish. Protecting your energy is not disrespect, it's wisdom. You can't keep asking for peace while entertaining drama. You can't keep crying out for clarity while drowning in gossip and nonsense. Your circle is either pushing you toward your destiny or pulling you back into crisis. There is no in between. Here's the truth. Not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone is meant to sit at your table in this next season. Some folks were only meant to be part of your past, but you trying to drag them into your future. You want to rise, but you keep tying yourself to folks who live for the mess. That's why your spirit feels heavy. That's why your progress is slow. You're running a race with ankle weights. You want real peace. Start cutting access. Start auditing your life. Who's adding value and who's subtracting from it? Who's giving life and who's taking it? Who supports your vision and who sabotages your progress? If the answer ain't clear, that's your sign. And it's not just people. It's habits. It's places. It's how you spend your time. Some of y'all are in chaos mode because your phone is in control of your life. You can't focus because your screen's screaming at you 24/7. You're watching drama all day, then wondering why your soul feels overwhelmed. Cut it off, block the noise, shut down the distractions. You can't get your peace back if you won't stop feeding the chaos. Let me give you a new mindset. You don't owe access to anyone who threatens your peace. You don't owe your time to every message. You don't owe your energy to every event. You don't owe your loyalty to people who don't value your boundaries. You don't have to show up for every argument. Not every fight deserves your fists. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. See, peace isn't something you stumble on. Peace is something you build. It's intentional. It's disciplined. It's protected, and let me tell you, it takes work to protect it. You gotta be willing to lose some people to find yourself. You gotta be willing to be misunderstood. You gotta be willing to say no and not feel guilty. That's how peace is preserved, through boundaries, not busyness. You want to stay out of crisis mode for good. Then stop letting people who live in chaos bring their bags into your life. Stop letting everyone crash at your emotional house. This ain't a hotel. This is sacred ground. Your time, your energy, your purpose, that's sacred. And if they can't honor that, then they don't belong in your space. Let me challenge you, this week, do an inventory. Look at your text threads, your call logs, your social feeds, your habits, your thoughts. Anything, and I mean anything, that brings more stress than joy, more chaos than clarity. Address it, remove it. Replace it with what feeds your soul, because hear me, your peace is worth more than any approval. Your purpose is worth more than any friendship, and your destiny is way too important to be delayed by drama. Cut the drama, protect your peace, because when your mind is still, your vision becomes clear, and when your heart is calm, your power comes alive. Let's get something straight. Hope is not a strategy. I said what I said. Hope will not pay your bills. Hope won't fix your relationships. Hope won't help you get out of crisis mode. And no matter how many times you pray or meditate or say, I hope things get better, nothing changes until you build something real. You need systems, not just wishes. You need structure. You need a game plan. See, a lot of people are out here chasing dreams with no blueprint. They say they want success. They say they want peace. They say they want health. But when you ask them how they're gonna get it, silence, no plan, no action steps, just vibes and frustration. Let me tell you something, what you don't systemize will eventually paralyze you. You keep falling back into the same stress cycles because your life runs on emotion instead of execution. You rely on willpower, but you don't put systems in place to protect you when that willpower runs out. You start strong, but by week 2, you're already slipping, not because you're weak, but because you never created something to catch you when the motivation faded. A system is your safety net. A system is your anchor. It's the routine that kicks in when life gets heavy. It's the process that keeps working even when your feelings don't. You want to stay out of crisis mode. You want stability. You want clarity. Then build a system that supports your goals even when you're tired, busy, or stressed out. Let me show you the difference. You say you want to wake up early. That's not enough. What's your sleep system look like? What time are you shutting off your devices? What bedtime routine are you following? You need a system, not just an alarm clock. You say you want to save money. Cool. But do you have a budget? Do you track your spending every week? Are you using automatic transfers? Hope says, I want to get better. Systems say, here's how I'm doing it every single day. You want to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Stop winging your life. Build a schedule, build habits. Use calendars, set reminders, write things down, automate the things that drain you. Your brain is for big ideas, not remembering deadlines and grocery lists. The most powerful people on the planet don't just work hard, they work smart. They automate, they delegate, they plan, they systemize everything from their morning to their meetings, from workouts to finances. Not because they're robotic, but because they know life gets messy, and without a system, chaos wins every time. You ever notice how athletes, performers, top leaders, they all have routines? They eat the same meals, wake up at the same time, train with the same methods. That's not coincidence, that's discipline built into a system. And when they fall, their system catches them. That's how you stay out of emergency mode. You don't guess, you don't scramble, you follow the system. Here's another reason systems matter. They give you data. They let you track your growth. If you're not measuring it, how do you know if you're improving? A system lets you check the scoreboard. It lets you say, I was here last month, now I'm here. That's how winners move. You tired of being overwhelmed? You tired of always playing catch up? Build a system. A morning system, a time management system, a fitness system, a stress management system, because when you build systems, you build sustainability. And when you build sustainability, you build freedom. Listen, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Your results are not based on how badly you want it, they're based on how well you're prepared for it. You can want peace. You can want growth. But until your daily actions align with that vision, you're gonna stay stuck in chaos. So stop depending on hope to carry you. Hope is the spark, the system is the engine. Hope gives you a vision, the system brings it to life. Your life ain't gonna change because you wish it would. It's gonna change when you put structure under that vision. It's gonna change when you stop guessing and start building. One brick at a time, one system at a time, one discipline at a time. Hope is the dream, the system is the plan, the action is the breakthrough. Let's go deep. I ain't here to hype you up for this one, I'm here to call you out, because if we're being honest, the crisis ain't always out there. Sometimes the real crisis is inside you. You keep trying to fix your life on the surface while ignoring the wounds underneath. You're grinding, hustling, pushing yourself hard, but you're not getting anywhere because you're still carrying pain from your past like a weight vest. You haven't healed, and as long as you stay unhealed, you're gonna stay in survival mode. You're gonna keep bleeding on opportunities, relationships, dreams, all because you refuse to deal with what broke you. Let me say this clearly, you can't level up until you heal up. You can't build a new life with a broken foundation. I know you're tough. I know you've survived a lot, but survival is not the goal anymore, thriving is. You survived, yes, but now it's time to evolve. Some of you are running from healing because healing means facing the pain. You'd rather stay busy than sit still and face the truth. You'd rather scroll than reflect. You'd rather overwork than go inward. But let me tell you, what you avoid will always own you. That pain you bury, it's still there. That betrayal you never talked about, still shaping how you trust. That childhood trauma, still influencing your decisions. That failure, still haunting your confidence. So yeah, you're productive, but inside, you're bleeding, and your life can't move forward when you're stuck in emotional debt. You keep reacting instead of responding. You keep sabotaging things that are good for you because somewhere inside, you don't feel worthy of peace. You're not cursed, you're wounded, and it's time to stop ignoring that wound. The reason you keep snapping on people, wounds, the reason you can't rest without guilt, wounds, the reason you chase toxic relationships, wounds, the reason you don't believe in your own greatness, wounds. You don't need more books, you don't need more money, you don't need another motivational video, you need to heal. Healing ain't easy, it takes work, it means crying sometimes, it means being honest with yourself. It means forgiving not just others, but you. It means letting go of blame. It means finally releasing that pain you've carried like a badge of honor. Some of y'all have built your identity around suffering, and it's time to break that. Hear me, healing is not weakness. Healing is power. Healing gives you the energy you've been missing. Healing gives you the confidence you've been chasing. Healing brings the clarity you've been praying for. And when you heal, that's when you finally stop living in crisis mode. That's when you stop sabotaging yourself. That's when you move different. When you heal, your relationships change. Your discipline levels up. Your peace becomes non-negotiable. You stop settling. You stop overcompensating. You stop playing small, because now you see yourself clearly. You're no longer operating from fear. You're operating from wholeness. Let's be real, healing is uncomfortable, but so is living in cycles. So is being stuck. So is repeating the same mistakes over and over. You gotta choose your hard. Healing hurts, but staying broken hurts more. Cry now or cry later, but at least if you cry now, you grow, you break through, you release, you rise. I need you to be brave enough to sit with the pain, brave enough to unpack the trauma, brave enough to ask for help if you need it, brave enough to go to therapy, brave enough to write it out, brave enough to scream, cry, breathe, and then get back up stronger, because on the other side of healing, that's your next level, that's your peace, that's your breakthrough, that's the life you've been chasing without knowing that the only thing standing in the way was the pain you've been pretending didn't exist. So don't run from it anymore. Don't numb it, don't bury it, heal it. You got work to do, but it's the kind of work that unlocks everything. No more fake strength, no more pretending, no more I'm fine when you're not. This is your moment. Right here, right now, go do the real work. Go take your healing seriously, because your destiny deserves a healthy version of you. Let's get it. You just got 5 keys that will keep you out of crisis mode for good, but let me tell you something right now. Information without transformation means nothing. You heard the truth. Now the question is, what are you gonna do with it? You can't keep living like this. You can't keep waking up every week stressed out, behind on everything, on the edge of burnout. That ain't living, that's surviving. And you weren't born to survive, you were built to conquer. But if you want to get out of the storm, you gotta take these 5 keys and put them to work. You gotta stop winging your life and build a plan. You gotta stop chasing motivation and become disciplined. You gotta cut the drama, protect your peace, and say no to what no longer serves your future. You gotta build systems. Stop waiting for things to fix themselves. Fix your habits. Fix your routine. Fix your structure. You're one routine away from a breakthrough, one shift away from your future, and finally stop running from the pain. Stop hiding from what hurt you. Stop covering up your wounds with work, with hustle, with distractions. Heal, because when you heal, you unlock your full power. You walk into rooms different. You show up like you were born for it because you were. This ain't just about feeling better. This is about taking your life back. This is about never again letting fear, stress, or dysfunction run the show. This is about building a life so strong, so solid, so strategic, that crisis can't even knock on the door anymore. You were not meant to live in survival mode. You were meant to lead, to elevate, to dominate your space. But you've got to decide today, not tomorrow. Today is the day you shift for good. So get your plan right. Get your discipline tight. Protect your peace like your life depends on it. Build systems so strong they carry you when you can't, and heal so deep that the past loses all its power. This is your moment. This is your line in the sand. No more survival. No more chaos. No more crisis mode. It's time to level up for good. Let's go.